Hey, it's time for another snack food quickie. I think I really need to make an intro. I didn't realize I was going to be making so many of these snack food tasting videos, but once again, I am testing StreamYard. Basically, I'm trying to learn how to operate this thing with a higher proficiency than what I do have. Uh, that way I can run live shows better or help run live shows. And one thing that I was trying to work on was instead of showing this picture covering my face, actually show me off to the side talking, which can be done with not that button, not that button, not that button. Well, actually, this picture is too large, and you can't do that, but it's a learning process with StreamYard. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That shows me to the side, and boom, then the picture still covers me, I guess because it's so large. All right, so we're going to get to another cheese here and another tea. I'm going to be tasting this St. James tea, which it was a mystery to me as to where this actually comes from, and I'll explain why. Now, jumping straight into the cheese, this is what I have here today. It's Valbreso, 100% pure sheep milk cheese. Welcome to Valbreso. This is from their website, nice looking site. The gourmet French sheep milk cheese known for its extremely creamy texture. Valbreso cheese is artfully crafted in the rugged plateaus surrounding the Mediterranean Sea and southern France. A remarkably versatile fresh sheep milk cheese matured in brine. Valbreso cheese achieves its unique taste and superior richness by using 100% pure sheep milk coming from a very unique breed, the Lacoon sheep, renowned for its rich and creamy milk. Very interesting. Here's the one that I have today, and in a way, kind of looks like a stick of butter, doesn't it? I guess if you were to leave this out on the counter and somebody else was cooking and looking for butter, they could be in trouble because they might actually go for the cheese. All right, let me cut a piece off here and give this a taste. Yes, I got a smaller cheese knife. I realized the one I was using was rather huge and cumbersome. So here's the piece that I just cut off, which I'm going to taste. Looks like it crumbles quite easily. Actually, that's a bit large. Let me cut that. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Maybe I should have said butter, because now to me the aroma is like butter. Well, isn't that ironic? It undeniably does have an aroma like butter. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Mmm. Oh, that crumbles so nice in the mouth. You know, this one here, um, I've learned that I really like blue cheeses, and in particular one called Roquefort, which I just call it Blue Cheese X 1000. Now, feta cheese is considerably different, um, and I don't think it's one that I would just snack on regularly. I would use this as an ingredient in other recipes. Um, that is really, really nice. Now, this came in at just $14 a pound. Now, the reason I say just 14 is some of the cheeses I've been trying have been in the $30 to $40 range. Whereas I don't go buying a big piece of really expensive cheese. I like to get the small cuttings from a cheesemonger. And in our case, we have a co-op nearby where they always have a broad range of different types of cheeses that they've been packaging for the day, and they'll make little small samples. So I was able to pick this up for just $2, and I would consider that a great deal because it's an outstanding size to use for a recipe. Now, let me show you my favorite recipe for feta cheese, and that would be with watermelon. Okay, let's see if I can move myself off to the side here, and success. Okay, that's what I was wanting to learn how to do, so mission accomplished. This is my absolute favorite recipe for feta cheese. These are watermelon chunks. In fact, I will probably pick up a watermelon here in the next couple of days since they're starting to come into the stores now here in California. And I originally tried this. This is not my recipe or creation. The first time I ever tried it was at a small little cafe that was called the Lemon Wedge in a small town in central Texas. And that was probably 20 years ago. And I'll tell you what, if you taste a food that you remember for a couple of decades after that, it is something. Apparently, I really enjoyed it because I've actually taken that recipe and changed it up a little myself. What you would want to do is cube some watermelons. It looks like this one here is either de-seeded or it came from a seedless watermelon. Uh, you can use sliced onions. This shows thin sliced purple onions. I like to use thin sliced shallots because the shallot has a little bit more of a spiciness and almost a bit of garlic to it. And then, of course, a cucumber of your choice. Now, if you look very closely at this picture, uh, you'll see the feta cheese down to the lower left. It looks as if it has fresh herbs on it, which would be basil. I have never used basil. What I use for fresh herbs is cilantro. And the reason for that is I liked to give this a Southwest Texas flair. So I'll use cilantro, fresh squeezed lime juice, and fresh sliced and de-seeded serrano peppers to just really bring out the heat. And of course, you can put a little bit of salt on it. You don't need much with the salt that's going to be in the feta cheese. And if you look carefully, right at the very top of this plating image, it shows what appears to be mint. Okay, now mint I don't care for because it reminds me of toothpaste, and I don't like mint toothpaste. So taking this image here, if you want to recreate exactly what I do, you want cubed watermelons, thin sliced shallots, cilantro, lemon juice, and serrano pepper that has been sliced very thin. And then using a spoon, you want to take the seeds out of the inside of the serrano pepper. Now, finish it with feta cheese and maybe a little salt if you'd like. And with this particular plating image, I would use, or I do use, 3 to 5 times as much cheese on it. So when I plate it, it has more of a uniform look of being red, green, and white. And then you would get feta cheese in every single spoonful. So for this cheese here, I am going to give that it's mass produced, apparently. It's available all over the United States. You can find this in common named grocery stores. But at $14 a pound, this right here it's fair. If it continues coming from France at $14 a pound, that is a fair value for this cheese as an ingredient. Just don't get it confused with butter, okay? Now, the other thing that I'm tasting is St. James Organic Black Tea. Now, there's a little bit of a story on this, and I did cover it in a previous video here recently. This was on sale at a grocery store. It was typically 2 for $5, where to me, $2.50 for a serving of iced tea in the US, I would just have to say no. I love drinking bottled tea. While in Japan yearly, I will drink tea all day long, probably 5, 6, half a dozen bottles of tea, 10, 12 per day. And that's because I simply like Japanese tea. I probably drink more tea in Japan than I do water. And it's easy to find in vending machines. And with the power of the dollar versus the yen, at least for now, those run about 60 or 70 cents. So $2.50, nope. This was on sale with a store coupon for even lower than that. And then some of the bottles had $1 off coupons rubber banded on the top. So I went and got all of the ones that are sugar free. And I got these about 75 cents a box. Now, if you notice, I say a box. If you take a look at the St. James website, that's at stjamesicedtea.com. It shows tea in an aluminum can. Now, I have thought long and hard, well, not long and hard, I've thought often about how many microplastics I consume. And concerningly, most of the tea vended in Japan, it's all in plastic bottles. So if I'm drinking 10 bottles of tea a day in Japan, all from plastic bottles, it makes me wonder just how much microplastics I'm consuming. So when I see a package like this in an aluminum can in the US, that's going to make me more inclined to purchase it because aluminum is very easily and completely recyclable in the US. Now, of course, this one's in a box. Now, is that why it was on sale? Did they just discontinue the box because their website doesn't show a box? I don't know. And the other question is the box plastic lined? I also don't know. There were a few mysteries of this tea. So let me taste this. These are the teas that I've been drinking on Spill the Geek Tea, which is a variety show that comes on Sundays. I'm on a good number of those shows, and I enjoy it. It's lovely. Let's see, what's the ingredients on this? This is the second time I've tasted this. Organic brewed black tea, organic lemon juice, brewed black tea concentrate, natural flavors, and organic stevia leaf extract. So if I were to taste this side by side with let's say a raspberry flavored Japanese tea, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference because this is really nice quality. However, the first time I purchased this, I was just really wanting to know where it came from. And if you take a look, it says distributed by St. James Brands, Boca Raton, Florida. Now, distributed by and made wherever are not the same things. And I believe a lot of food companies try to hide the origin of their products by just simply saying distributed by. So, to wrap things up here, and without talking too long about tea, I had posted this QR code online on a video panel that I was on, and a sleuth, Angela in Dallas, Texas, figured it out. And it was there all the time. I just never saw it. If you go to St. James icedtea.com, then you are going to see these packages that I've mentioned. I've also tried the blood orange and hibiscus in the previous video. I would definitely try the passion fruit and peach. Now, blood orange is showing sold out, and so is red raspberry. On the same website. Beautiful website right there. On the same website. It shows that it actually says, where is St. James tea made? And St. James tea is made in India, and then it is brewed in the United States. So thank you, Angela. Mystery solved. And if you're enjoying these food tasting videos, check out two other channels that I enjoy. One of them is Tasty Cake by Reverend Amagon. That's the channel right there that actually inspired me to just have some fun, make food tasting videos, and learn how to use StreamYard while doing so. That's Tasty Cake by Reverend Amagon. The link is below. The other channel that I would recommend is one that I found pretty recently. That's run by DJ Glowing Ice, and it's called Industrial Industries World Radio. That channel's really fun, has a great variety of things to be found on it, including some really downright crazy food reviews. So that's Industrial Industries World Radio by DJ Glowing Ice over in St. Louis. So a shout out to Tasty Cake, Reverend Amagon, and DJ Glowing Ice. Check those links below. If you're enjoying these videos, subscribe. And if you've never thought of it, make a snack food video yourself. It's really quite fun. And until next time, and as always,